Welcome to this video, everybody. In this video I'm going to show you how to get some data from a JSON file, and we will print that data using our JavaScript skills. So right here inside of the index.html I have a div with the ID of output, so I named it output, and I don't have anything inside of that div, so we will use JavaScript to print something inside of that element. So let's go to code.js and let's store that element inside of a variable. So I'm going to say let my output, so output equals to document.getElement by ID. We are going to open two parentheses and two single quotes, and we'll type in output because that's the name of that element. So you see I have that ID here, so I'm reusing exactly the same name. So I have that name here. Now let's try this. I'm going to say my output.innerHTML. I'm going to test it just to see that I have selected that element correctly, and I have that there already. So I'm going to get rid of this line for now. We're not going to print anything. Let's go to data.json. You see I have some jokes here, and each joke has a setup and a punchline. So we will try to print these jokes to the user every 30 seconds or every minute. So to do that, we can go to code.js again. We can use an async function. So I'm going to say async function to make an asynchronous function, and we have learned this in the previous videos. So I recommend that you watch my playlist. I'm not open two parentheses for now. I'm not going to add anything inside of parentheses, and I'm going to add two curly braces. So inside of these curly braces, we are going to get this data from the data.json file. So to do that, we can say let response equals to fetch. So we will fetch some data, right? So we'll use the fetch, and inside of the fetch add the name of that file, which is data.json. But because we have used an asynchronous function, so whenever you use async function, we can use the word await before we do this. So you see now this will await the data to come in, and it will store it inside of the response variable. Now let's take a look at this error. So you see it says so something is missing inside of my function, so I have to give it a name. I'm going to say load jokes. Alright, so you see async function, and then the name of the function is going to be load jokes, and I'm going to call this function right now because I don't want to forget that load jokes, and I'm going to open two parentheses. So always we have to call this function to make it run. So I'll make sure that I call it right now, so in the future I'll not say, hey, why my code is not running. Alright, so I have that line there anyway, so I have that response. Then we are going to do something with the response. So I'm going to say let jokes equals to await again. So I'm going to say response.json. So we will convert that JSON into a JavaScript object, and right now we can use set interval because I want to print these jokes every 30 seconds or every minute. So I can do that. I can say set interval, and we have learned this in the previous videos, and I'm going to open two parentheses. So inside of this set interval we can use a function. So I'm going to say function, alright, and I'm going to open two parentheses and two curly braces, and inside the curly braces we do some code. Alright, so we will do some code here, but we can add a comma here followed by 30,000. So 30,000 mean every 30 seconds. Alright, 60,000 is 1 minute, so 30,000 milliseconds are half of a minute. Alright, so now I have that there, and inside of these curly braces we can do something. Alright, so I'm gonna say let random index. So we're gonna get random index. Alright, so random index equals to math.floor, open two parentheses, and then we're gonna say math.random. We're gonna get a random number. We're gonna zoom out so you can see the whole code. Alright, so math.random, open two parentheses here, add an asterisk and number 1. I can add number 1, or I can say, so add an asterisk there, then say jokes, the name of this variable, then dot length, so dot length. Alright, so we have that there, and I'm going to say let joke, this is another variable, it's not jokes. Alright, this is just joke, equals to jokes, and then I'm going to open two square brackets. I'm going to use the random index variable, so I have that there. So I'm going to set the output, so I'm going to say my output.inner HTML equals to, and we are ready to do something now. So I'm going to use backticks. Alright, so I can say hello world, and you see if I make this a little faster, it will print it right away. So hello world is being printed, but instead of saying hello world, we will print that data that is coming in from our data.json file. So I have two keys. Alright, so I have the key of setup and the key of punchline, so we can use these two inside of our JavaScript right now. So inside of our backticks, and we have learned about the backticks in the previous video, so I'm going to use $sign here. I'm going to type in joke. So you see, if you type in joke, it's going to do this, but if you type in dot setup, you see that it's going to print the setup there, and we are also going to print the punchline, so joke.punchline. Alright, and you see now our function is so fast that it prints it right away. So let's make it maybe 20 or 10,000 to make it every 10 seconds. So now for each 10 seconds it should print it. So you see, for every 10 seconds it's going to print a joke from our data.json file. Alright, so you see it says a joke, and it will change it basically every 10 seconds. And you can add more jokes now. If you go to data.json, you can add more jokes to this JSON file. So I'm going to add another joke. So I'm going to say comma here and open two curly braces to add another object, and we can make a key of setup again. So add a joke. So this is a repeated joke, right? So let me change it to a different one. Which flower talks a lot? And that's the key. So which flower talks a lot? The punchline is the tulip. The tulips flowers, because they have tulips. Tulips, alright? I'm not sure if that's funny, but I just added that joke. And now you should print it. So every 10 seconds, it should print that. So you see, it's going to print one of the jokes, a random joke, from our data.json file. So you see, it says, why did the bicycle fell over? And anyway, it's going to read through it. So for every 10 seconds is going to print a random joke, everybody. Alright? So, I think this is it for this video. I hope that you like this video and subscribe to my channel.